Hey peeps, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you happen to be here before, and welcome to a new playthrough. And this time we are going to be playing Myst. I had a little bit of a technical issue today, so it turns out my beloved mic here is not being detected at all whatsoever by my computer. I've tried everything. I disconnected and reconnected it again. I tried installing the drivers, but because it's not recognizing my mic, it's just not able to. It's not able to install the driver. So I have contacted Apogee, who is the creator of the mic. So hopefully I should get some answers very soon. But the way that their site's structured, which is terrible, I'm not holding my breath. And especially the fact that their chat function doesn't work anymore. So I don't know if the issue's physical, because I am using this dock here to get it through. I don't know if it's something if it's a driver, and because the drivers are pretty old on this, well, it's implying that the old drivers might be the problem, but it shouldn't get to the point where it's not detecting it, period, because apparently bare minimum needs to be detected in order for it to work. So something's up. I don't know what it is. So hopefully I get some answers here. Even it seems like at some points my computer even doesn't really recognize external microphones. Period. So hopefully we come to some answers pretty soon. Secondly, Stronghold will not be my chill stream this weekend, turns out. Because it turns out GOG is pretty smart. It basically shows what games are compatible based on what computer you're using. And the reason why the Mac version of Stronghold no longer shows up on in options, even though you do see it under bonuses/goodies. Let me show you here. So let me show you the page. So you can actually install it under extras. You can see Classic Stronghold Mac right here. But the reason why they don't really offer it on the main page anymore as a thing is because Stronghold is a 32-bit game, and unfortunately, after, I think it was Mojave, Mac has decided not to support 32-bit games any longer. They will have a no symbol or forbidden symbol in front of it to symbolize games that you can't play anymore. So Fireaxis has decided not to continue Mac support for Stronghold. So I'm gonna have to find another chill stream game to play. So there isn't gonna be one this weekend except Sneaky Sasquatch. So if you have any recommendations for this channel, actually I have one in mind, but if you have any more that I could try for this computer, please feel free to let me know. Besides the ridiculous trash statement of quit the Mac, go to PC. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. All my creative work is on the Mac here. So you have to come up with something else. I am, however, saving up for a PC. So that way I have access to more titles. But until then, if you have recommendations for chill games that are compatible towards the Mac, I like city builders. So if you have any city builders you recommend that I should try on here, please let me know, because I would like to spread out a little bit. But enough talking about technical problems. Let's go ahead and start off with Myst. And I am playing the Masterpiece edition of the game. If you're curious about the about Myst 2021, which is the latest version of Myst, please feel free to check out Tobias Tantalus's channel, either on Twitch or his YouTube channel, Just Playing Games. And And you'll see like the VR, like he played it on VR, which is pretty interesting how they decided to update some parts. He, as at this point, is no longer streaming, but a lot of his videos are still up there, so please go and check them out when you can. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and start off with Myst. Okay, there we go. So this is a game that this is the Myst Myst Masterpiece Edition is the closest to the version that I played in childhood. Maybe the sound effects feel like childhood. So yeah, so this version of Myst is basically like if you want to play how us old school gamers have experienced it, the Masterpiece Edition is the way to go. Real Myst updated the graphics quite a bit. Yeah, Real Myst updated the graphics quite a bit, but I also heard, like, in some areas there's a little bit of a crashing problem. So, and also, Real Myst is a bit more expensive. So I decided to go with Masterpiece Edition because it's the closest to, like, the retro feeling that I grew up with when I played the original game. And apparently down to the graphics. So, at some point, maybe I'll do the more updated versions, but I wanted to throw back to my childhood just a little bit, so that's why I'm playing this one. So yeah, if you want to try what the OG players tried, play this. If you want to go a bit more updated, Real Myst for the 25th anniversary edition or even 2021 might be more up your alley. And oh yeah, I wanted to give one more correction. It was Rand Miller who stayed behind. Robin, the co-founder, left the company around the creation of Exile. So, yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
Yeah, so this is done by Broderbund Software, and this game was done by a very small team. And then Rand and Robert Miller, they're trained as computer developers, computer and game developers, but they also did a lot of the acting and writing for this series. So that's pretty impressive, especially for like a game in the 90s and 2000s. Like a lot of it was very self-generated. But here is the Myst book. And this is a linking book. So essentially, you have to touch the image, and then, much like this is where it all started. Before Abduction had its switches, and who knows what, Quanar, will have. There was Myst, and it's linking books. And this is point and click, so a little bit more old school. But yeah, one of the things that was kind of pointed out when it came to like the original design of Myst was the variable design was the super variable design of the ages in here. Like the things didn't go together. But when you think about like the actual overall plot of the game, it kind of makes sense because in essence, Atris is kind of a combination of a world creator. Well, if you could even call it that, a world bridger would be more accurate because it's basically linking to different heroes, not necessarily creating them. But anyway, these guys are world bridgers and world travelers, so it would kind of make sense that this one island in particular would kind of be inspired by all the adventures they've taken. Kind of similar to how with some travelers or some concert goers or fill in the blanks with whatever hobby that you have. Whatever hobby that you have, what am I saying? You're gonna have a souvenir or something, or like something to remember or some like remarkable thing, or some message to remember that trip by. So like you have like little things to remember your trip by. So it makes sense. So it kind of makes sense why the world might look as variable as it does, because like they're basically reminders of all those adventures they've been on up until this point. Sorry, I feel like my speech has gotten a whole lot worse as I've gotten older. That I'm not very entertaining, but I'm trying my best here to not bore you, not get too focused on the action to the point where it seems like I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I'm just struggling with things to say, is all. Should be. Alright. So I'm gonna try and put on all the marker switches. Oh, this room. And we can exchange the constellations based on what year you have, and it goes pretty far. I think it goes up to like let me see what year it goes up to. Pretty far. Okay, so right now it is 2023. And it is, no, March 3rd, 2023. And the time is right now, let me see. Get to the screen for a little bit. 9:01. Almost 9 o'clock. Wow. Okay. Well, the constellations used to look a lot better. Sometimes older is not necessarily better. Oh! We didn't turn the light off, that's why. Okay, my bad. That's how it looks. That's our constellation for today. I might do one for each... I might do one for each day. I stream this. I'll do a constellation for each I'll do a constellation for each day. To show what's going on. But yeah. But yeah, I know, like, I think with the exception of maybe like one switch, pretty much everything's like set to the 90s, I believe. So yeah. That's the one thing I like about point and click games is like the interactive stuff. I like interacting with things. But yeah, the library. This is where all the fun stuff begins. That's where the sound effects are kind of weird. Oh! I forgot that did that! Ah. Yeah, I forgot the portraits did that. Totally forgot that did that. Okay. So as you can see, a lot of these ages got destroyed. So you can't really read them. But I think out of all the mistakes, there's like 4 intact ages, I believe. Which this becomes very important with Exile. Well, important in air quotes, because Exile is way more puzzle driven, but there is a little bit of plot to it as well. But yeah, here is one book here. I've called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world. Though it is exactly how I imagined it, it is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees, which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. Eager to discover more about this land and its people. But I've arrived here late and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we arrived at the ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water and could only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, inside, I found the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on its face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise! This creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. As I suspected, the ancient creature is a human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning, and it seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he had not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he has told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. Sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time, and they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees where they gradually died out, maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I'm not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet, the old man believes the truth of the story as he had been there. And the tree dwellers worship him, and probably all humans, as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and sleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while, he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out the door and off of the narrow path high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began the procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of walkway and carry it away. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As the strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. Oh, dang! That passed over my head as a kid. Oh my god. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is dull green for as far as I could see now. For some reason, the water no longer shifts color. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me. Curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon so that I may learn more from them. I have lived in this world for 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I'm even beginning to learn bits of their language. I decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I'm sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Cirrus and Akinar will react to the curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind, as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they've enjoyed this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers and pick up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it would not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on the Osmoian age. Cirrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. Though the idea unsettles me, and now the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. More on that in a little bit. Anyway, much to my dismay, upon arriving at Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Choctic. I feared for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Cirrus and Akinar here. See Everdunes' journal for more information. After watching Cirrus and Akinar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I could put to rest about any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. And for a little longer time. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Cirrus and Akinar are staying behind again. I've been gone for over 3 days and am going to many different places. I had to tell Cirrus and Akinar about Pran's death today, and they were visibly shaken, although they only remembered her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Cirrus and Akinar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They'll be returning with me when I leave again. I've told my sons they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and I'm reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I've seen that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colors, as we're seeing with this. I've shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even though, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also asked if they could visit some other ages alone. Though I'll have to think over their request, I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. So this is in the tree, like the tree house age, I like to call it, but it's called Channelwood. And then they have plans to build another bridge around, like other bridges around this section. This is like a zip line here, and there are plans to build a bridge over here to link all this up, but I don't think they ever got to that. But yeah, you'll find it very quickly why I'm saying more on that. Here's another one. These books are pretty long, I will say. Very long. So I won't go over all of them. But yeah, so there's like 4 ages, and then there is one with, and then obviously they wrote several, but like they didn't exactly keep them. Oh, hold on. I gotta plug in. Darn it. Keep forgetting to plug. This is my problem. I keep forgetting to, like, it's for me with every device. It's like whenever I do something and I get really into what I'm doing, it's like, have you plugged in today? No, I haven't. I'm too lazy. Or distracted. I mean, if y'all want me to read more, I might do a separate recording and then I'll put it up on YouTube. For those who want me to read the rest of the books, but I don't want to keep you all for too long. I know you want me to, like, get straight to the gameplay, even though, I mean, the books will come back. We'll come back to them because they become very critical for solving some of the later puzzles. So yeah, but yeah, I'll explain to you what these books are in a moment. So that's Cirrus. So presumably, Zack.
Help me. Bring blue pages.
So yeah, I guess that was the other thing about having modern copies is that there are subtitles. So I'm so sorry for those who are deaf or hard of hearing. Unfortunately, because of the version I selected, there's no subtitles for this version of the game. But I hope you still have fun anyway. And I have to figure out how to do subtitles for... oh. I have to figure out how to do subtitles for, like, my YouTube channel in general, so I apologize. I'll figure it out eventually. But anyway... Did I pull this switch already? I forget. I don't think I did. Oh, it's upwards. I forgot. So I think I did pull this one already. Alright, we'll figure that out eventually. We may have to go back to the journals at some point. Oh, wait. I think this is for the tree. Which tree? I can't remember. I think it's the one with the rocks surrounding it. As you can tell, it's been a while since I played this. But yeah, now I'm thinking that maybe I should have gotten the newer version, but that's okay. I'll manage. Sometimes older is not always better. And this is certainly should give me evidence of that. Alright. That switch. Trying to follow the power line. That was like. I did all the power lines, right? No, I didn't. Okay, let's just go to the back. If not, if I don't make some more progress here, I'll just read more of the books. I like reading books. Oh yeah, here we go. That's the key. Alright, yeah, it goes, so you see here, it goes pretty far. So we've got 3 coordinates here. So we've got October 11th, 1984. And it's at 10:04 a.m. January 17th, 12:07, at 5:46 a.m. And November 23rd, 9791 at 6:57 p.m. And obviously we control the tower from the we control the tower from the we control the tower from the library. Excuse me. And then I remember, I remember this is for the constellation room. So let's find out like which constellations exactly do we need to look for. And we'll go from there. Because like I think it was in the Mechanical Age book or this one. One of them talks about constellations, not this one. It was this one. Okay. Because that's the key for the middle. So we've got the anchor, eye, the snake, the spider, the cross, the arrow, the flamingo, and the leaf. I know the leaf, like, I think it gets randomized every time, but usually the leaf gets involved at least in one of them. But let me read this portion, because this is already pretty critical for the story, okay? And then I'll save the next book for the next part. So that way at least we're not, you guys are not bored. So here is another book. I think it's for the Rock Age. Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were. A group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This is where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as if it was never too far of a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks, for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together. Often, Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon, Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean of the floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day, while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least, that was the story I was told when I arrived at the island today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day of this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, but yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them while I was gone, I'd make a surprising change in their worlds. They didn't understand, not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. I attempted to create a boat by riding it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this text did not turn out as I hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I could see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It's much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I've learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that passed above me. Also during the night, I catch glimmers of light from the horizon, which I have not been able to discover if it is created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I've rather suspected it's additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I decided to return home for a short while. I've also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light towards the horizon, it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They will be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they have the means. I return with many tools that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time. Excuse me, and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks in the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems not to be as secure as I would like. I've had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no real problem. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me quite immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished, and we are all proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I've become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to... Hold on. The power cord disconnected. I hate when it does this. Does anybody have any tricks in terms of like how to keep this plug in place? Because it happens every time I charge. I'm so tired of it. And I mean, every time! Okay, where was I? Will was getting ready to hunt for... She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I feel pleased to leave this age. I've set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art, that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think... Oh, Starship Age, Bird's Eye View. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, this is where the debate kind of comes in. Because, on the one hand, technically, Atris is creating worlds, but in some ways as well, because there are inhabitants in it, you could easily debate that he just has the ability to bridge them. Bridge and influence them. Oh, that's kind of outside of our control. That's where it gets really debatable here. It's kind of like a chicken or egg question. Did Atris create the age, or did the age already exist and Atris just happened to write a bridge to it? We'll never know. Anyway, more profound impact in this world I could ever have written. I think of it, this age is a gift to myself that will wrap up and open someday in the future. Only discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I have yet another age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown to adults, and there are many new faces I do not recognize. Branch told me that it has not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. They are all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials they have discovered. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks like as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I noticed that the entire rock it is built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them what things will be like here in another 10 years. Alright, that's all the constellations here. It was this book, right? Oh, not that one. Okay. We'll come back to that one a little later. Let's, for now, let's plug in the, constellations in here. And we'll go from there. Oh, wait. This is what I was looking for. This note. Catherine, I left you a message of utmost importance in our four-chamber beside the deck. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. Okay. Well, let's put the 3 dates on here. So we've got October 11th, 1984. And it's at 10:04 a.m. Alright, let's do it. I told you! The leaf is always one of them. The leaf's always one of them. Okay, and then January 17th, 1207. Um, 5:46 a.m. I think that's the snake. I gotta double check that. I think that's snake. And then 11/23, November 23rd, 9791. $6:57 p.m. I think it's the spider? Yeah, it's the spider. But yeah, I think that... Oh, not this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so that is the spider. That was definitely the leaf. I remember that much. And then... Yep, it's snaky. It's snaky. So, leaf, snake, spider. That's the right one. Leaf. That's arrow. Spider. Snake. Alright, so that's our first stage. So that came up. So that means the actual boat has come up too. And now we're going to get to our first age, which is, I think it's the Stonewall Age. I like to call it the Rock of Ages. Alright. Alright. Our first age. Let me check my chat. I'll be right back. B.I.B. Okay. So then I shipped out from day one. That's okay. Okay. So let's go into our first age, which is the Stone Age. But yeah, as you can see, the lighthouse has sank quite a bit more into the ground since we came in here. But yeah, welcome to our first age. Yeah, but the way this looks, I'm almost tempted to try and check out. So this is the boat that's split in half. But yeah, I'm almost tempted to try and check out like But yeah, I'm almost tempted to try and like check out some of the newer versions, see how they function. But I know there's some things that are missing in the newer versions, like some little plot devices that you can't really see in the newer versions that are in the old ones. So that's why I kind of want to stick with it and see what happens. So this is the front of the ship. It's kind of hilarious. They got stuck in the it got stuck in the water. It got stuck in the water. That is another thing I don't really miss with these old school games. Like a lot of clicking and dragging, and I mean a lot of clicking and dragging, and then it resets by itself. A lot of clicking and dragging. A lot of clicking and dragging. 310, 300, 290. That's one thing I don't miss. 270. 250. We're gonna be here a while, peeps. I am sorry. I think it's 180 something, like 184, 183. No, not 183. Wow, I gotta note my numbers. Okay, this should be 185. So it's gonna be like 181, 182. 182, 183. No, not 183. So like it's gonna be at 181 and 182 where that line is. And then the lighthouse is around 135. It's like dead set at 185. And there's another line here, so it's like 114. Okay. I don't know what this does exactly, but we'll see. Oh, that's dark. Still dark. So, I mean, other than this boat, yeah, I can't see a thing in there. Okay. Yeah, I can't see a thing. Oh my god. One of them had steps. Holy. Maybe I need to increase my brightness a little? So this is kind of like the minor key of like the traditional Myst theme. It's like a weather map. Like a rotoscope. Okay, it's only those two. Ah, here we go. Elaborate. That's the flag that we were mentioning earlier. And We gotta figure out how to get back first. Yeah, we gotta figure out how to get back first. Oh, here's another room. The only downside is you can only take one page at a time. There's no inventory. Hey. A lot of sense of humor. Can't even call it that. A lot of maps. Marker Switch Island. The vault is the island of achieved very. Instructions are each of the marker. Turn every one of in the opposition. Final step. So I'm guessing it's about how the marker switches work and how what position to turn them in. So I need to find the second half of the instructions. There was a chamber on the right, but I guess not. So that's now underwater. That's now underwater too. So, what emptied? I would say it's not here. So I know the middle one is for Sirius and Akonar's rooms. I'm not gonna spoil it for. I already know like what the switches are. Oh wait! Oh, down the stairs here. So the third one's for the. Of course. I can't unlock this. I don't know what the first one's for. One key to get another key. Wow. Okay. So that's done. That's for the lighthouse. Ah, generator. Okay, we're good. Alright, time to go. I think this should be for the boat. The other side of the boat? Let me see. Ah, here. So we need to drain this somehow. Let me see. And that's the middle switch, I believe. Oh! Okay, so here's the compass. I think we need to press... Okay, so... This is going to be 90. And this is 180. So what was we run here? Oops. Oopsie daisy. I did something wrong. Okay, so let's just do south then. Okay. Noted! Get one answer wrong and it turns off the power. Okay, we're good. Did not get a single answer wrong. Got it. So let's just try here. Or not? Dang it! What am I doing wrong? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I know one of them was like 180. 180 something. Okay. This will be 45. So 135, so we're gonna be here. Oh, there we go. That was it. That was all I needed. I think. That's 135. And then one half of 45. So 22.5 plus 90. 112. That's close enough. So, here? Dang it! I had to try something! I had it right the first time. Okay. I had to try something. So was 45 literally the only... So, like... Because I saw the marker, I'm thinking about the markers, up top, so is that, like, literally the only way, was the 145? I thought there was more than one light. I could have sworn there was more than one light. Excuse me. So I probably did this, like, super out of order. It'll be okay. I could have sworn there was a second button. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So it says... Okay. Ah! Okay. So let's, should have got the page earlier. Hold on. Let's get the red page first. And then the blue. I like that door sound, like whoosh. What? Like, that was such a really cool sound, honestly. Okay. So we're gonna have to backtrack a little bit, but yeah. Let's get the red page first and then the right page. Or the blue page, sorry. Okay. That's some pretty interesting decoration choices. But this is pretty cool. Like how, like, the book emerges from the table. Like that. That was pretty cool. You have to admit, that's really cool. And we're back in the room. Alright. Let's find out more about Cirrus's story, then we'll find out about Akinar's in a little bit.
Return. Thank you for bringing the red page. You must continue. My name is Cirrus. I beg you to find the remaining red pages. You must read. Releasing from this book which had come. Bring. I need more red pages, please. Beg. Don't waste time. Look at me. Don't touch me. Brother. My brother is guilty. I wrongfully imprisoned. Bring the red page to me.
Alright, I think that's what we're gonna get for that one. But yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's 9. But yeah, what was I saying? But yeah, so yeah, as you can tell from that phrase, it's a prison book. I'll explain a little later what that is. But for right now, to keep it a little entertaining, I'm not going to say anything. Let's get Akinar's page. Excuse me. Okay. It didn't reset, did it? Probably did. Yep, it did. Okay. Not a problem. I don't think it reset too much, so I think I should be able to, like, go here. Just redo the power. Okay. Let's look at the other page. I gotta think of it. I think there's a... yeah, right here. Because they both can link to the, they both can link to that room. Alright, let's get the other plot going, and then I think we're done with the Stone Ship Age. Stone Ship Age! That was the name of the age. Okay. Alright, so that's one age done. And we got the time in about an hour, so we might not need that many parts. We might not need that many parts to finish this game, at the rate I'm going. Like, unlike the later iterations of the Myst series, it's not, like, Myst is not as complex. Riven is where the complexity really kicks in, from what I've heard.
He returned. He wouldn't Ages, rescue me. I'm acting off. My brother, I beg you. To be complete. Always blue pages. Listen to him. Not listen to my brother. He's the buffoon and a liar. Bring me the blue pages. The red ones. Don't bring the red ones. I implore you. I've been wrongfully imprisoned. You must I will have my retribution. Please.
Maybe not blue retribution, dude. Ages you by a decade. Okay, we did Channel Wood. Wait, no, we did not do Channel Wood. We did the Stonecross Age, this one. We have to do this one. Let's read this one, which is where the giant gears are. Before arriving this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures. And it was. The sky here is dark and gray and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. This man has obviously been through very many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me, there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they had wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills, which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. The people grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day the usually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The lookout post's attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries there were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said that it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save the civilization and stop this enemy's planned destruction. I'm excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea that sparked in my mind to provide the needed defense for these people. But as you know, with Star Trek, there is a Temporal Prime Directive. Well, the Prime Directive in general, but I mean, I keep thinking of the Temporal Prime Directive in particular. On the other hand, though, this kind of book creation is specific to Atris and his people. So, to get into a little bit more backstory here, this specific backstory here, Atris, Sirius, and Achenar are part of a people that are known as the Dunny. D''N', the Dunny. I'll put it in the chat, hold on. The Dunny. And so, but then with his family in particular, H's family in particular, they have this ability of creating linking books to different worlds, which they call ages. Dunny, They look like humans, but they're more like human adjacent. They are more human adjacent. We are known, us as the character, as the player, we're known as the stranger. There's no name, there's no gender. It's an easy self-insert. We happen to come across the Myst book Falling Through the Void, as we saw in the intro of this game. And in Riven, we're going to get more details as to why. As to why and how we came across this book in the Rift. And then in the third game and in Uru, in Exile and in Uru, they take refuge. The remaining Dunny take refuge in Tamarna, which, in our terms, in our place, is New Mexico. The southeastern United States. In the middle of the desert. In the caves. So, yeah. So Earth and the Dunny are very much tightly connected. But then, as well, so this ability that Atris and a few select Dunny happen to have, they're able to create, supposedly create, again, it's very theoretical as to how this works. They're able to create links into other worlds. In terms of how, they can't really explain it. There's apparently a certain method, but then there's also a certain ability that only certain people have to create ages, but anybody can link to them. Pretty much anybody can link to them, as we see with Exile. Obviously, with great power comes great responsibility, and it certainly shows in Riven. And we'll get into a depth of when this power is abused in this game and in Riven, and the side effects of that in Exile. But yeah, I just wanted to explain that a little bit before I continue on. I'll talk about prison books, which is what Circe and Akinar are in, a little bit later. But I mean, as you probably saw in a little bit of the rooms that I've been through, well, you'll see why they're better off staying in there. And that's kind of gets more cemented with End of Ages and Revelation. Though, because I don't have the compatible computer, we're probably not going to get to the latter half of the series, and for people who have told me as well, it's not worth it. But we'll see. Let's continue on with this book, and then I'll probably end it here, so that way you don't feel like as if you have to rush. But yeah. Anyway, I met the remaining survivors today, and I have begun work on a plan for protection. After a short absence, I returned to this age with my two sons. They have, as of yet, traveled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be a great help this time, instead of the nuisance they have been in the past. All three of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon the old city's ruins, which will provide the perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am very pleased with their intelligence, and their creativity is refreshing to see, as they work on small projects of their own. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world except for its gray sky. They detest the gray sky and tell me many times they wish the sky here were like the blue sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between the 3 hills, which are now only islands due to a rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography. I've been experimenting with it on my visits to Aspermere. It will be working in a couple of days after compensating for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide... this would be helpful. Probably the mechanical age, I think is what they call it. Provide sufficient protection for all of us. That's the fabric we saw in Sirius's room. Anyway, the black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I could not help but smile as I watched the boats leave. And that's the insignia of the black ship. Last night, we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storms will never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that the blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have had a healthy adventure, and have begun working on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe I have begun. But first, I will have an extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the tide. I believe in my travels I have found substance that will ease the pain of their blown ailments they have long endured. I hope to return to the mechanical age one day, and have the population growing and my fortress still strong. The sky may always be black. I have confidence the people will fear healthier targets to be lifted from their shoulders. That's pretty much it for that one. Okay. So, we'll try and get into the mechanical age if we can here. Let's see. Ooh, head's itchy. Okay. I need to put some oil on my head. There's a way to open this up. I just don't remember how. There's one switch I was trying to get to. It was like there's a power station somewhere. I just can't remember where. I've done that one. There's another one that I saw. I got to it the last time. I don't know how I did. Guess I'll just keep looking around because it's been so long. But yeah, at the rate we're going, I think we might be able to finish this game in like 5 parts or less. Ugh. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. So, but yeah, next time on Myst Masterpiece Edition, we're going to try and get to another age. Oh, the tree's right behind the cabin. I forgot. And then there's like there's like a switch right here at the back. That's like that building in the back. But anyway, we're going to try and go to another age at some point, and then we're going to try and get some power to the spaceship over here. But yeah, I feel like we've made some good progress here. And yeah, look at how, I mean, Robin Miller also wrote the score as well, which is really impressive because it's all electronic. But yeah, well done to the team at Cyan Worlds, because there's like a lot of really interesting things that are in this game. And I'm excited to get to Riven, especially because like the latter titles, Riven and Exile, are completely blind to me. So I'm gonna be very much clueless as I get to the latter half of the series. I have watched playthroughs of it, but I've never actually done it myself, so it's gonna be pretty fun. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching this first part of Myst with me. So the next part, I think we should do on Monday. But yeah, and then at some point I will also do current undying thoughts, maybe during one of the chill stream times. We'll see. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. Abduction is officially complete as of Wednesday. So if you want to check out all the parts, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. My Twitch right now has all but for part 1. But if you want to check out all the parts properly, go back to my YouTube channel to watch the whole thing. Tomorrow we'll do Sneaky Sasquatch. Then we'll have a break on Sunday, and then part 2 of Myst we'll have on Monday. And then once we complete Myst, we will move on to Riven. Riven might take a little longer because there's some complexity to it. I will explain that complexity once I get to that game. And I'll explain more lore of what I remember, because it's a lot of fun. I know the lore pretty well, it's just I never really played the latter half of the series. It's really a lot of fun. Other games I'm thinking of doing is Projection and Kingdom Hearts 2. That'll be coming up soon. And then, yeah, here's my YouTube channel. The first YouTube channel that I've listed here, DJ MK Off the Air, is the one that you could catch not only the live streams, but also copies of said live streams once the game is over. So feel free to watch through there. Expect a new video on my Theological Otaku site, on Theological Otaku channel in May, at the end of May. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then keep an eye on my Twitter and my Discord for any future streams that I happen to do here. Finally, this episode was filmed in the lands of the Lenape and the Nanticoke. To learn more, visit native-land.ca or contact your local tribal council, see what ways you can do to help. And shout out to our hospital repair group. Thank you for fixing my laptop to be able to do the stream today. So yeah, thank you so much again for this stream. For those who are tuning in this weekend, I will see you tomorrow. Otherwise, stay safe, stay hydrated, and of course, may your heart be your guiding key. Till next time, I will see you later. Bye! And oh yeah, at some point I may try some of the newer variations of Myst, see what difference it is. I might try Real Myst, or the 25th Anniversary Edition, whatever I can afford first. But yeah, till then, I will see you next time. Alright? Stay safe out there.